everyone. How are you all doing? So, my Chase Alfred couldn't be here tonight, so it is just me. And it looks like they're saying that my connection is weak. So what I'm gonna do, well, it looks like y'all already logged on and looking, so I guess I can't do that. I was gonna go off and try to see if I could change my connection. So the question is, someone posed this question for me last week and asked, if a woman is in love, will she still cheat? And hey, Nola. I feel that women cheat for many different reasons. A lot of times a woman is cheating because she is lonely in the relationship. Hey, Jay. I feel she's lonely in the relationship. She's having... Okay, I'm back. I don't know what's going on with this connection, y'all. This thing is crazy. It is like going in and out. And I have like great... I don't know. I have like good internet. So hopefully it won't do that. Hey, Nichelle. Hey, Adrian. Hey, Kiara. Okay, so back to what I was saying, that a lot of women cheat because they are feeling lonely in the relationship. They feel ignored. They feel taken for granted. They feel like none of their needs are being met, whether it's mental, physical, sexual. Sometimes they're just plain out exhausted. It's like, you know what, I want to finally find somebody who can relieve the stress that I'm feeling in my life. Like, maybe every day I go to work, I come home, I got to take care of the kids, I got to take care of my husband or my wife. And it could be the weather, Monique. I don't know. Hey, Shannon. But it's like, I have to take care of the kids, I have to take care of my husband, my wife, and no one ever sits back and take care of me. And then it's that one time she goes out and she goes to the store and she meets this cute fellow, this cute female, and she's like, you know what? I honestly, this person starts talking to them and giving them all that good talk, you know, that stuff, that smooth talk, and listening to all their problems and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, finally I have someone that I can lay my burdens on. And so one thing leads to another and it becomes sexual, and all of a sudden it is done, and it is what it is. And I feel like women are such emotional beings that when it comes to them loving somebody, they love with all of their heart, and they will fight to the end and be so loyal that when they're in love with that person, they're not going to cheat, they're not going to hurt them. So I don't feel like a woman would cheat if she's in love. I feel like when she's in love, she's definitely not cheating. She's going to do all she can. I don't care if that man or that woman is cheating on them. They will stay there with that man or that woman and continue to love them through all the BS that they giving them. And they will fight to keep that fucked up ass relationship. And I'm going to read some of y'all comments. Okay. Monique said, what about when all of that is being done? I mean, you break your neck. Monique, that is a good question. And that's something that I was saying. I feel like a woman would not, I'm talking about the other end. You're the woman that's doing all that stuff, so you're not going to cheat because you're the type of person that's like, I'm going to stay loyal. I'm doing all this stuff because I'm in love with you. When you're not in love with them anymore, you can give two shits about them and you're going to move on, and you may find you somebody else to okay, I'm back again. I don't know. I hope this thing stops doing that. But I think it is the weather. The weather is crazy. But yeah, I feel like it's not until you have exhausted everything, you have given that person all your all, will you begin to cheat? That's just me. That's how I feel. And yes, Kiara, you definitely need attention. Jay said women cheat when there is something lacking in the relationship: support, emotion, attraction. I agree. Women have to have a reason. A man can say, a man, or let's just say a man can have everything that he's ever asked for from that woman, and he will still find a reason to cheat. He's gonna get out there and cheat. That woman can be loyal. She can cook his dinner. She can have piping hot food sitting on the table waiting for him when he get off of work. Like the plate is just sitting there, and the food's still hot. And she can make home cooked meals, take care of the kids, got her hair looking right, her makeup looking good, be fine as hell, and that man will still cheat. He's gonna find a reason to cheat. So I think a man can call himself being in love and still cheat. I don't feel like a woman can. Monique said, my ex told me she was just being immature. Well, first off, cheating is a sign of immaturity. So she ain't lied to you on that one. It was messed up that she cheated, but she didn't lie. She was being immature, because when you are mature enough, you can you'll have more self-control, and you will have more consideration for someone else's feelings, and you're not going to sit out there and cheat and run around. When you're mature enough, you're able to say, listen, I'm unhappy in this relationship, or you're doing something that's not making me happy, that got my eye kind of going a little sideways. You will be able to tell that to that person and talk about it, and talk about what you both can do to make things better in order to make a better relationship instead of going to cheat. So you're right. She was being immature. She's right. She told you the truth about something, finally. Kiara said, but men also some cheat for some same reasons other just being selfish. Kiara, I agree that some men cheat. There are some really good men out there. I don't feel like all men cheat. And that's another topic for another day, because I know a lot of people feel like all men cheat. They can't keep it in their pants. It's just going to happen. I don't feel like that. I feel like there are some really, really good men out there. But I do feel like it comes to a point where some people don't know how to express their feelings, and they become so vulnerable that anyone's showing them the attention that they're lacking will cause them to fall for their advances. So I do agree, Kiara. Miss K says she's been there. I'm so sorry you went there. You was there, Miss K, and I hope you don't have to go through that again. Lolita, hello, girl. Monique said, yes, Lord knows I was that dumb. Monique, what do you mean you was that dumb? Talk to me so I understand what you're saying. And Jay said it boils down to givers and takers. You're right. It does boil down to givers and takers. There are some people who will sit up there and they want to take from you. They want to take everything that you give, all the good that you give, and that's it. They don't want to give anything back. And what they do with that is go out there and give it to someone else instead of giving it to the person that deserves it, who has been riding for them or been there for them, has been taking care of them. Like, right now, I'm reading this book. Let me tell you, I get into some ratchet books sometimes, y'all. Like, I really, really do. And this one book I'm reading is about this chick. It's, I think it's called Side Chick Catching Main Chick Feelings. Anyway, so in that book, she's been like his rider, right? She even took a murder rap for this man, and she goes to prison for him, does 5 years. Do you know this woman gets out of prison and finds out that he's married? Now, meanwhile, he's been coming to see her every time they had visitation. He would go to the prison to see her, everything. But as soon as she got out of prison, he finally tells her he's married. So she's been in love with this man for, let's say at this point, 10 plus years. This man now is married to someone else. Do you know she's still with this man? I know it's just a book, but this is the stuff that happens in real life, y'all. Like, it really, really does. Valita said, no, we won't. Maybe only if we feel the lack of emotions from our significant other or physical attention. I agree. When we're in love, we tend to let a lot of the one night that I decided to get my ass on Facebook Live by myself, I have all the problems. Me and Chase have done Facebook Live on the same internet connection for freaking weeks, months, okay? Never had this problem, so I don't know what's going on, but hopefully it'll stop. But, yeah, Valita, I agree with everything you said. Tyrone Bentley says the ways of a woman is unknown, so you just have to give space, let her do her, and not think about what she's doing while not around you. Because true love, regardless of what, would not allow a man or a woman to cheat. Tyrone, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. Sometimes men cheat, men cheat and they call themselves still in love. I don't know. Let me go on. I knew and I stayed. Oh, okay, Monique, I got you. You knew and you stayed. Trying to make it work and my feelings were gone. You know what, that happens too. We will sit there and try to make that thing work forever. Forever. And it would take literally a rock hitting us upside the head before we would finally leave that relationship. They could bring us STDs. And I'm saying us to just include myself with women, but I haven't gone through this, but I know women who have. So I'll say us, because I stand with y'all women. I do. Y'all are very strong for dealing with it. But they'll bring us STDs. They have this woman coming up in the house, and we know it. We following them. We see them going to this woman's house. They may stay gone for days at a time, and we will still sit up there just lonely, hurt, crying in our bed, worrying about this man or a woman, because it happens to women. Women do it too. But worrying about this person on when he gonna come back home. We could have been out doing what we need to do. Babe, like it keeps going in and out. Okay, so I guess it came back on. I'm hoping if I sit over here, maybe this will help. I don't know. If it keeps doing this, I'm just going to end this. Because I think we can run this topic in the grave anyway. But anyway, Tessie said you won't cheat being in love. Most cheat is something that you crave or in need of that you aren't getting. I agree. Mia, what do you mean I have read it? No. Pinky said no. Sometimes it is about the physical aspect. That's what Deidre said, as well as mentally. Oh, Lolita said the video is missing Chase. It won't let you be great. Girl, I agree. It's missing Chase. If Chase was here, we would probably have so much better luck. But hey, Mama Dog Dana, you all. While we're on here, let me make sure I say this. Please look up the Black Doll Affair. There is a Facebook page. It's called the Black Doll Affair. And there's a website. I believe it's blackdollaffair.com. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dana. But it is a great movement. I have not done a lot in part of it in the last year or two, only because I've been so busy. But it's a great movement. It's all about teaching our black women how to love ourselves, but also loving the skin that you're in, whether you're dark, light, or any complexion in between. It's all about that. And then we go out, we mentor, and we talk to little girls, just showing them, little black girls, showing them that beauty comes in all colors. And I love the movement. So make sure you all look it up. Jay said, so much emphasis is always placed on sex, but true love is not based on how much sex is given. Sex is a primal instinct. That's why a person can give all the sex in the world and their partner will still cheat. I agree, Jay. And I don't think that all the time it's about, oh, well, I'm making sure he's satisfied. I miss you too, Dana. I don't feel like it's all about, I satisfy him or her in the bedroom. But it's about so much more that we're giving in these relationships. And the person take us for granted and they go out and they're cheating. Or maybe not even, maybe let's say they're not even cheating. Maybe they're just out there, they're not giving 100% the way that we're giving 100%. So we end up in a place of discontentment, resentment, loneliness, and feeling taken advantage of because we're giving, and the other person is just taking. And I just feel like if you're not ready to give 100% in the relationship, then you need to just let that person go. And I've heard people say things like, well, she knew I didn't like her like that. I kept telling her that it was nothing but sex. But you still have to take responsibility as well for the way that you're leading this person on. Because essentially, regardless of what you're telling them, you're making them feel like you have deeper feelings than what you really have. And it's not fair and it's not right. So, back to the topic at hand, because I could probably go with that for the rest of the night. My thing is this: the question is no. I do not think that a woman who is in love would cheat on her spouse. I do feel that a woman who is neglected in the relationship, who feels taken advantage of, taken for granted, who feels unheard emotionally, physically, all areas in between, can cheat. So that's my answer to your question. Do you all have anything else to say? Because I don't want this thing to go out on us again. But we'll be back next Tuesday at 9 p.m. And Chase will be with me. I missed her. The damn internet connection missed her because it just messed me up. And I know you all missed her opinions and her thoughts because, I'm the one that's trying to keep it real from a therapeutic standpoint. She's keeping it real from her own personal self. So she gives a whole new element to these videos that I just really, really love. And I do want to say, we did our couples workshop on Sunday at it was a rock climber workshop. So we rock climbed first, and then after the rock climbing we ended up doing we ended up talking. I wrote a workbook, and we ended up going through the workbook, and it was extremely successful. So my next one is November the 13th, and this one is pottery. I chose pottery because I'm going to talk about the 6 forms of intimacy that we need to develop in a relationship for the relationship to be successful. So we're going to talk about financial intimacy, intellectual intimacy, of course, physical intimacy, emotional intimacy, recreational intimacy, and spiritual intimacy in that workshop. So the reason why I chose the pottery is because we're molding the pottery as a sensual experience, and we're molding it into what we need it to be in order to work for us and to work for the other person. So, or work for the purpose of the pottery that we're making. So if it's a plate, it's serving a purpose. And that's the same thing with intimacy. We have to mold intimacy in the relationship, and we have to learn how to maintain that intimacy in the relationship in order for the relationship to last and be successful. So I'm really, really looking forward to that workshop. Do y'all know that this thing now is showing clear as day? That is so crazy. Anyway, so I hope. Oh, good, Samara. I hope you don't miss it. It's November the 13th. It's going to be in person. So if you could come here, I know you're out of town. I would love to have you. I'm going to post the information on the video once we finish. And somebody wrote something else. Oh, Cassandra wrote, I have learned you have to love where you're at with that person, and been there and done that to know what's home. I'm thinking, let me see. I have learned you have to love where you're at with that person. I don't know, Cassandra. You have to send some clarification. And Mia, thank you. I did get that. So you're reading that book now? Oh, you've read that book before. Okay. I got you. I understood you now. But yeah, Cassandra, send me what you're saying. Okay, you guys. So I'm going to get off. But I feel like this was a great topic. I could talk some more, but I don't know. My connection now is better, but I don't want it to keep cutting off on you all. Oh, Jay said, I've learned to identify red flags and acknowledge dysfunction before cheating becomes an issue. Jay, that's powerful because that's something I always tell people. First, we have to watch for the signs that cheating may occur. Uh, let's not even say that because we don't never know when cheating may occur. But we can watch for signs of discontentment from our partner. When there's a constant arguing, constant dissatisfaction, when your partner is complaining about nitpicking on every little thing that you're doing, when they tell you you're not good enough, or you're not good enough in this issue, or you're not good enough in that, you don't do this right. All those types of things I do definitely agree with. Those are red flags that, yeah, cheating may occur eventually, or that it's already happening. But the most important thing is actually looking at those red signs before you even start dating the person, before you get into a serious relationship with the person, because then you identify if this is a person that can remain committed and that's ready to be committed to someone like you. Hey, Sheikah. That is ready to be committed and in a committed relationship as much as you're ready to be. Because there are signs that that person may not be. You could just be dating and they don't know how to date. I say date multiple people until you and that one person get to a space where you feel like, you know what, it's time for us to kind of be only exclusive, right? I agree with dating multiple people until you're ready to be exclusive with one person. But what if that person never gets to that point, and then you've cut off all your people? See, look, it cut me off again. But you cut off all your people, and now you're sitting there like, well, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? When do you want to be exclusive? So at that point, if you have to question that, then that's time for you to make a decision to say, you know what, you're not for me, boo. You don't want the things that I want in a relationship. Then move on. Then you can avoid situations of cheating in the first place. So Cassandra sent her clarification. She said, you know what's at home and know it's not worth messing up or leaving. Or someone who can stray you away from home. The devil is busy. And I kind of get what she's saying. So she's basically saying that when you're at a place in your life where you know exactly what you have in the home with your partner, when you know the type of relationship you have with your partner, you don't want to mess it up. So you're not going to cheat. And then you're not going to allow that person to push you away to the point of cheating in the first place. And I agree with that. I feel like if you're in the point of, you know what, I can't take it anymore, he or she is treating me like crap, I'm ready to find me somebody else, I think you should seek counseling. Because sometimes the relationship is worth saving. You don't always know what's going on with that particular person. So it's good to have a conversation and then talk about, you know what, maybe we need to get some counseling in, and then we can try to figure out how we could work this relationship out and keep it moving. I think many of us, we give up so quickly. We give up so quickly and we leave before we even have a chance to really communicate what's wrong. and why we're unhappy. We find a quick solution. It's either we leaving or we find somebody else to take our mind off the problems we're having at home. But in the meantime, you're still having those problems at home because you're choosing to stay with that person and not do anything about the problems you're having at home. So Paulette said, in my opinion, if she cheats, then she's really not in love. And I agree. You're not in love. If you're cheating, you're just not in love. When you're in love with somebody, you're wholeheartedly there for them. And you're not going to do anything to hurt them. She also said, if you feel like you want to cheat, leave that person because it's not fair. I agree. It's definitely not fair. If you're at that point where you want to cheat, just go. Hang on, not just go. Have the conversation with your partner. Talk to them about what's going on. Try to seek some counseling. If all that fails, then yes, it's time for you to move on. And I agree, Jay. Some people don't give up quick enough. You're right. It's some of us that stay in the relationship too long, and some of us that don't stay long enough. Yes, Cassandra, I agree. Being with single friends when you're married can cause big issues because single friends gonna do single friend things. They don't have your best interest at heart, honey. They out there trying to find them somebody. So they really most of the time don't care much about what you got going on and when you doing it and how you doing it. Sheikah said sometimes you do shit. I've been in a situation I was like, I don't even know why I was doing what I was doing, but that experience made me not want to hurt anyone and myself because you hurt yourself when you do cheat. Sheik, I do agree. Sometimes the moments just overtake us, and it's sad to say that, but sometimes we can find ourselves in a position where we're vulnerable, we're weak, quote unquote, per se, and a kiss may happen. Or, it's like our guard is down. I've heard people, well, I'm just going to tell you a story. So it was somebody I knew had a friend who they both got drunk. I guess they kind of flirted with each other every now and again. But all of a sudden, the person just kissed her in the mouth. And she was like, what happened? So I think sometimes we have to also take in consideration the situations and what's going on, and then what we're doing to not encourage that situation and what we're doing to stop it before it can lead to an actual consenting cheating type situation. Okay, if the person kissed her, she had a choice to make. If it felt good, does she continue to kiss him and go home and sleep with him, let one thing lead to another, or does she have enough self-control in her body to say, stop, we can't do this because I'm with someone else? Yes, Maritza, there are definitely different levels of cheating. She said, if someone's cheating emotionally, does that mean they're not in love? Marissa, that's a really, really hard one. We have to, what is she lacking? Is she lacking the emotional connection to her spouse? And that's the reason why she's cheating emotionally with someone else. If she's lacking an emotional connection with her spouse, more than likely, she's more in love with the idea of being in love. She's probably falling out of love with that person because she doesn't have that emotional connection there anymore. Once that emotional connection is gone, normally people fall out of love. It's not a quick thing. I snap my fingers, but it's not a quick thing. But it happens. They fall out of love. So if someone is cheating emotionally with someone else, it's because they need that emotional attention because they're not receiving it in the home. And in my opinion, that means they're not in love. Paulette said, and some people just want their cake and eat it too. Yeah, you do have those, and we did talk a little bit about that in the beginning. Yeah, it's a lot of people that just, I can have everything I want at home, and I'm going to go out and still get some more, because I just want some more. I'm a glutton. I'm being gluttonous. Sheikah said, you said the magic word, self-control. Exactly. And a lot of us just don't have self-control. A lot of us don't. So that's an interesting point. If we take it from that perspective, If we don't have self-control, but we're in love, will we cheat? That's something for us to think about. If I'm not exercising self-control in my daily life, but I'm in love with my partner, will I cheat? Think about it, y'all. Write y'all responses. Alicia said, I'm convinced I'm supposed to be single forever. Have cheated a lot in my past, but because it came a point in my life, I want peace and happiness and grew up. Now I can't seem to find the right person to be loyal and not give up. Maybe that's karma for me. Alicia, I don't believe that's the case. I believe that there is someone out there for you. However, what happens is we have an energy. We create energies in our life. And that energy attracts the same type of people that we are, or the same type of people that we have been in the past, the same type of person that we've been in the past. And that's probably what's happening with you. It's time for you to start getting around different types of people, gain a different energy in your life, a new perspective. Even though I know you said you come to a point where you want peace and happiness, you now have to exude that in your dating life and start putting yourself in different environments so you can attract different types of people. Because if you were cheating in the past, you was cheating with people that was around you, that you're used to being around, the type of environments you're used to being in. So you definitely need to get out, broaden your horizons, get you a new group, get some different energy up in there, and start exuding the things that you want. You need to exude it out in your life so you can attract a different type of person. Cassandra said if you're cheating emotionally, it's gonna turn physical. I kind of agree with that. I do think I'm not gonna say in every case it happens, because there are some people who become really, really close friends and emotionally bonded to same sex or opposite sex, and it doesn't necessarily turn to physical. But I do think that there's a higher chance that it can turn to physical because of that emotional connection. If you put some things in place that, like if you create situations like, oh, now you're alone with this person more, or you decide to plan dates with them now. It's not just, oh, we're on the phone, or we're writing letters, or, we kind of FaceTime every now and again. If you start putting yourself in certain situations with that person that you have that strong emotional bond with, I definitely agree that it can turn physical. Okay, so did y'all think about what I said? If a person has a lack of self-control, but is in love with her partner, will she cheat? Think about it. Let me know. Now, I answered that question about 5 minutes ago, so somebody should have said something. Okay, well, I'm going to give my... Oh, Jay said, I've always been in long-term relationships, whether good or bad. Staying single and just dating to make sure a person is the right fit for me has been a challenge. It is a challenge. It is a very big challenge. Because we want things. It's like we are programmed to date, and I'm going to say quote unquote date, have sex, hopefully one day get engaged. Well, get into a relationship, get engaged, get married, have a baby. It's like we are so stoic and we're so stuck on that particular situation, that scenario, that perfect relationship scenario, that we've lost track of dating. And then also the world has opened up to us. It's like, oh my gosh, there's so many people. I can have this person, that person. Whew. So it's like we rush everything. So it is really hard to just date and find somebody who's the perfect fit for you. Because it's like, if this person mess up on one thing, I can have 99 things. Well, I'm just going to say 5 things on my list that I want this person to meet. This person messed up on 1 out of the 5. I'm moving on to the next person, because you know what? The next person is easily accessible. So now I'm going to try to date this person. Well, you know what? Now I want you because you messed up on a half of one thing out of my list, so I'm going to go on to the next person. So it's just like you keep going on and on and on and on. You don't know how to date. You don't know how to stay still with one person because it's so many people to choose from now. The world has just really opened up to allow more people, to give us access to more people to date. So I understand that it's really, really hard, but we have to learn how to take our time and honestly say, do you meet my needs? Can you meet my needs? Will you be somebody I can grow with in the future and start looking at those things that they do? Like, I mean, we talked about it before and I talk about all the time. If their lights are always off, then this person may not be very financially responsible. If they have poor credit, another thing, they may not be financially responsible. If they have multiple girlfriends, if they've never had a committed relationship, it's just so many things that we can look at in the beginning, for us, that can keep us from entering into bad relationships, but also taking our time and being patient and just learning to grow in love with someone, allowing it to be just this nice, steady, smooth, sexy journey, of growing with one person. We don't take the time to do that, but it's so amazing when we do because it feels so good to just slowly fall in love with someone. We don't have to rush everything. Paulette said yes, she believes that there is, when you have a lack of self-control, that someone would cheat. I can agree. Nichelle said yes, so we had like 1, 2, 3. Cassandra said no. Jay said if a person lacks self-control, cheating will be a normal thing for them, and it will be hard to maintain loyalty in rough times. I think that you really, really, really made a good point on that. If you're lacking self-control sexually, and if you cannot maintain a committed relationship because you lack self-control to say no, or I'm not going to do it, or I can resist it, or whatever, I do think it'll be really hard to maintain loyalty, because as soon as something becomes bad, you may decide in your heart, I'm going to be faithful this time. This girl is so good to me. This man is so good to me. I ain't going to do it this time. But as soon as he cuts you out, or as soon as you have your first argument, or as soon as you have your first financial disagreement, or whatever, it's going to be hard to say, you know what, I'm going to try to work it out. The first thing you're going to say is, "Dude, sis, I knew you was going to mess up, so I'm going to find me somebody else that's not." Lolita said, because if people don't have self-control, they would cheat in love or not. If someone showed them that attention or vibe, things will happen. I agree. Chardell said, yes, she would cheat if she lacks self-control because she won't be able to control herself in situations that she might be faced with. I definitely agree. Because as I stated, if you have a lack of self-control, because that's what I think cheating is all about. It's about the inability to control your natural urges. We all going to be attracted to someone else. I don't believe that I can go through life without finding another woman attractive. Hell, sometimes I find a man attractive. But because I have self-control, I'm not going to go sleep with another woman just because she's attractive. That doesn't even make sense. Or just because I find her attractive. Doesn't make sense. So, I agree with you, Chardell. She said no, because being in love calls you to have self-control. Nobody in, nobody out. Shika, that's an interesting point. Being in love causes you to have self-control. Now, tell me what y'all think about that. Does being in love make you have self-control? I don't know. I think that that's a good one. I can see that. I can see that if you're really in love with somebody, you're going to do your best not to hurt that person. So, you would do your best to maintain control. I'm going to say it that way. You would do your best to maintain control. Self-control. I'll say that. Y'all can tell me what y'all think. Jay said everybody seems to be in a rush to be in a relationship. Yes, they do. They really, really do. Everyone is rushing to be in a relationship. Everyone is rushing to be engaged. Everyone is rushing to have kids. It's like we're not learning how to sit down and enjoy our lives. It's like we got to have something because society teaches us that. From the time you're a kid, women are taught that they have to find a fairy tale love and they have to get married and then they have to plan this big wedding. Well, they have to get engaged and they have to plan this huge wedding, find a perfect dress, have the bachelorette party, have the perfect bridal party, the perfect bridesmaid, and all that kind of stuff. It's just sad. Can we just be taught to just live our life and be happy, whether that's single or with someone? And I feel like that's what so many of our single people go through. It's like it's a burden to be single. And it's not fair because some people just don't want a relationship right now. And that's okay if you don't want a relationship right now. You don't have to have a relationship right now. But society makes you feel like you got to. Like you just can't be in love with who you are. Paulette said, what do you do when you telling your spouse I need some attention and emotional moment and they don't listen? So Paulette, okay. I think the thing is, if they're not listening, you have to be creative. If you need some attention in emotional moments, you may want to start planning things and planning time where you two can have that emotional time and you can get the attention that you're seeking. Even if you just say, you know what, babe, I'm planning us a romantic dinner under the stars tomorrow night. I need you to be there at 8 o'clock. I will not take no for an answer. Something as simple as that can happen. Sometimes we just need to take control and just do it ourselves. It was a time where I've said, like, I feel like I'm not getting the things that I need. Like I'm not in this relationship, but in past relationships, I feel like I'm not getting the time that I need. There are things that I want to do, places I want to go. And I just started doing it myself. And when I started taking myself out to eat, best believe that person stood up and was like, where you going? Oh, I'm going to dinner. And I'm going to this nice restaurant because I've been wanting to try it. And because you're acting the way you're acting, I haven't been able to try it because you won't give me the time that I need and take me out on a date. A simple date. So I took myself out on a date. And as soon as I started planning and doing those things on my own, best believe that person started taking my behind out. Because sometimes people just have to see what they're going to miss if they don't step up and do what they're supposed to do. Lolita said people want a microwave miracle. I know someone who got engaged in 2 weeks and they were broken up 1 month later. Oh gosh, 2 weeks is too early. I believe in love at, well, oh gosh, let me say this over. I don't believe in love at first sight. Not in the way that these movies and these books talk about love at first sight. I don't believe in it that way. I believe that you can have a really strong connection with someone. And then eventually you can fall in love with that person. But I don't believe that, oh, I met you today and 2 days later I'm marrying you, or 2 weeks later I'm marrying you and life is going to be happy. No, we cannot miss the crucial step of dating. We cannot miss the step of getting to know someone and taking the time to grow with a person to the point where we know every good, every bad, or as much as good, as much as bad that we can, to the point where we know if this person is going to be a good mother, a good father, if this person is going to be a good provider, if this person is going to be committed. Like, we need that dating stage. We need it. And we're going through all this fairy tale stuff of, oh, girl, I was in love at first sight, so we get married tomorrow. I don't believe in that. I really, really don't. I don't. And I think you're setting yourself up for a disaster. If you can say, girl, it was love at first sight, but you know what? I'm going to take my time with him. I'm going to take my time with her. You can do that. If it's really meant to be, the person's not going to go anywhere if y'all don't get married in 2 weeks. Because you said it's love at first sight. Chardell said, that's why it's always good not to go to bed mad or leave the house mad. I agree. Never go to bed mad. Do your best. And I always say, don't ever leave. If you're mad at me, you better not get your ass up, leave outside the house, because you may not be able to come back in. That's just how I feel. Because when you leave the house mad, anything can happen. Oh, I'm just so pissed off. Now you out I'm just gonna go get a beer at a bar. Now some chick coming up there and feeling all on you and whispering sweet things in your ear. You pissed off at your girl, and now, ooh, now we doing what we do. No, don't leave this house mad. That's how I feel. He pointing at you, Sheikah. That's funny. Chardell said, if you have a disagreement, then that should be talked about before going to bed or leaving the house, because that's when temptation will get you, especially when you're mad. This is what I say. Everybody may not be ready to talk about an issue in that moment. So you can say, you know what, babe? We can agree to disagree. I love you. We can revisit this topic tomorrow. It's nothing wrong with revisiting the topic. The point is, you don't want to go to bed mad. You don't want to still be angry at that particular issue. And that's okay. You can resolve that by simply saying, I love you. Let's have a good night. We'll finish this tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow, because this gives you both time. Think about what was said, to kind of think over the situation a little bit, but also time to calm that fight and flight response down. Because when our adrenaline is up, that fight or flight response is right there, and it's like, I'm going to either attack or I'm going to run. So you have to have time to calm that adrenaline back down, so you won't fight and so you won't run. So you can just agree to disagree, go to sleep, and then you can discuss it the next day, because now you've had time to calm down and time to kind of think about what was said and what happened. I'm so far behind, so I don't know what. Kay, what were you responding to when you said to a certain extent? I'm sorry. She could say sometimes, but not everybody. Lolita said no, because you can be in love but still lack something. Yeah, I can kind of agree. Courtney says, this is a complex topic. There's a million reasons why people cheat. A better question is, what are you going to do if you're cheated on? Ooh, Courtney. That one's really good. What are you going to do if you're cheated on? I can count on both of my hands, the women and men who've chosen, the couples who decided to come to me because their partner cheated on them, so they wanted to come to counseling. I have counseled them through the infidelity. I do believe that a relationship can still work if there was infidelity. You have to make a decision on if you're going to forgive that person. And if you're going to forgive that person, are you going to forget it as well? Forget it to the point where you're not constantly bringing it up. You've worked through those insecurities that cheating has caused. And you're not creating a pattern of insecurity in the relationship. So counseling is what I recommend. And when you go through counseling, you're going to have to work on what led to the cheating on both ends, how you two are going to communicate better in the future so that this will not occur again when it comes to whatever issue that led to the cheating. And then you work on the insecurities that cheating has caused and how those insecurities are now causing the relationship trouble at this point. So, Deidre said, I don't think being in love have anything to do with it. It all comes down to respect. Respect is true. You got to be respectful in your relationship. And if you're not respectful in your relationship, if you're not respecting your partner, definitely cheating can happen. But I feel like when you're in love with somebody, you're respectful to them. And you're going to respect them. And you won't cheat. Lolita said some people don't want to be alone. I agree. A lot of people don't want to be alone. Kay said, but after 2 years of being fully compromised sexually, my partner's selfishness and lack of understanding of my needs is where I went out and cheated. Oh, I'm sorry that happened, Kay. I'm sorry. And that's a lot of times. And I'm glad that you was able to be truthful about that, because a lot of women don't even like to talk about the fact that they've cheated, and they don't like to talk about why they cheated in the first place. Janelle, I agree. Date nights are important, and they keep them regardless of life circumstances. You should always have date nights as much as you can. That's a part of recreational intimacy. You're creating a bond with your partner through those date nights. So it's very important to maintain that intimacy in your relationship. Lust at first sight. Yes, Jay, lust at first sight. Sheikah said, I know someone who took 2 weeks leave and went to a place that was comfort for them. She got a different hairstyle, and the thought of her leaving made a difference. The outcome was great. Sometimes space and time to regroup is necessary between staying married and getting a divorce. Babe, it's a bug like right there in that. You see it flying around? Okay. Sometimes space and time to regroup is the difference between staying married and getting a divorce. Definitely agree. Definitely agree. Sometimes you just have to show them that they can no longer take you for granted. Period, point blank. You can no longer take me for granted. Show them what they're going to miss if they keep on. Courtney said forgiveness is key, whether you stay or go. Exactly. You got to forgive. You got to forgive. If you don't forgive, it's going to be so hard for you to overcome those emotional insecurities that person caused you from their cheating. So when you go to the next relationship, you're going to feel the same stuff. You're going to go through the same stuff because now your fears are taking over and it's pushing this person away. A said, not me. I agree, Deidre. If you cheat, it's no respect. Chardell said, I agree. When we've been together for 5 years and we have dealt with cheating on both sides, we both stuck by each other and forgave each other. I must say, because of that, we have a better relationship and we are very open with each other. Before, when we both cheated, our relationship was not open, nor did we share our feelings with each other. Chardell, thank you for being brave enough to share that, because again, many people don't like to share that. That they've cheated or they've cheated, and they definitely don't like to say that they both cheated and they both decided to stay in the relationship. But communication is key. We have to learn how to talk to each other. If we're talking to one another, if we're sharing our feelings, if we're being open, if we're being honest about what's going on with us, it's very rare that the cheating will occur. Well, let me not say that. It's a big possibility that the cheating may not occur, because now you're talking to each other and you're telling each other those things of, well, you're not meeting my needs, or it hurt me when you did this, or babe, you said that and that caused some type of fear in me. And it made me want to leave, or it made me want to run away and find somebody else. We have to talk about those things. And then in talking and communicating those things, you discover that this person may just not be for you. So now you don't have to cheat. You can just leave. And y'all can leave on good terms. You can separate on good terms. So just try to always keep an open communication with each other. And let me tell y'all, I keep looking up because it's this little bug. I think it's like a what is that, babe? Like a beetle or something? It's something flying and buzzing. It's like psh, psh, psh. So that's why I kept looking like that. Cause I'm like, where is this thing flying to next? Hope it don't fly over here. And y'all see me drop this phone and run somewhere. Oh gosh, I just took myself. But anyway, I am. Oh, Jay said, I didn't read this one. Jay, I'm sorry. She said, in order to forgive the person, has to correct the behavior. Jay, I think if they forgive and you decide to stay in the, I mean, if they cheat and you decide to stay in the relationship, then yes, you forgive and the person needs to correct the behavior. But if you decide, okay, you've cheated on me and I don't no longer want to be with you, I don't care if you correct the behavior or not. I'm gonna forgive you so I can move on with my life, and I'm gonna be with somebody else that's not gonna treat me like you treated me. So forgiveness needs to happen whether you decide to be with that person or not. But if you don't decide to be with that individual, they need to change for themselves, not for you to forgive them. So for you to forgive them, the forgiveness is about you and your healing so that you don't carry that on into another relationship. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Well, guys, I'm about to get off this live. Oh, she says she's seen that she's being cheated on multiple times. Sheikah said that. Thank you, Sheikah. I'm sorry that happened to you. I hate that. It's such a violation to me. When someone cheats, it's such a violation, especially after they have pledged their loyalty. When you've pledged your loyalty to me, it breaks me down if I find out that you've cheated. It really, really does. It's different if we both said things like, this is an open relationship, or we're not really ready to be committed with each other or whatever. Then it's different. But when I've taken the time to let down my walls and I have allowed you to come in and I'm giving you my all, like, I can cry just thinking about that. It's such a hurtful, hurtful thing to do to someone. And I'm like, I cannot, I just cannot, I can't even imagine doing that to someone that I really truly love and I want to be with. First of all, I can't imagine doing it to someone I don't even want to be with. I'd rather just tell you before I sit up here and just go out there, and I can't keep up with it. Like, I can't keep up with lies well. Like, I am a bad liar, y'all. Like, really bad liar. So it'll be like, I'll be trying to tell you. They'll be like, girl, where you was tonight? I probably been on and had my little sexual thing going on with my little side piece. And they'll be like, girl, where you was? Baby, where you been tonight? You weren't home. I'll be like, um, well, I was meeting up with, this is how bad I would lie. Like, it would just be such a horrible lie. They'll know automatically. Then I'm going to start laughing because I don't know what to say. So it's just, girl, it'll just be too much. I couldn't do it. Yes, Jay, you're right. If you decide to stay, that person must change their behaviors. But still, forgiveness needs to be about you. And some people say, I forgive you and I want to stay in the relationship with you, but they do things that show you that they really don't forgive you. So you really have to take the time to forgive the person. Oh, okay, Sheikah, I'm sorry. I'm glad it wasn't you, sweetheart. Yes, Jay. It takes a whole lot of effort to lie, girl. Like, I'm too busy. Like, I've been a lie, then I got my stories mixed up with my client stories, and it'll be a whole big mess. I'll be looking crazy, and then I feel like I had so much going on. I don't even feel like y'all Facebook people will even let me cheat. Y'all been to see me somewhere in public and be like, "Ain't you Chase's wife? Why you up there talking to? Where's Chase?" I'd be like, "Shut the hell up." Oh Lordy. Anyway, thank you, Shardell. I'm glad that you enjoyed the topic. So, did anyone on last week's show? We talked about, are you marriage material? And we gave a little tiny homework assignment. We asked people to write out if they she funny. What was I saying? We asked people to write in their journals about if they feel like they're marriage material, or no, what did we say? I think we said write what you're looking for in a relationship, and if you're given the same things that you're looking for. It was something like that. But anyway, if y'all did the homework assignment, like, let me know and share some of your thoughts about last week's topic. If you took the time to think about it and it touched you in some kind of way, I would love to hear from you. And Lolita said, "Yes, ma'am, girl. I know y'all have checked me so quick, so I don't got time to be out there in them streets doing anything wrong. Try my best to be right as much as possible." Oh gosh. Okay, so it doesn't look like anyone had anything to share from last week. But if you have something to share and you just don't want to share it on here, that's fine. You can always inbox me. I would love to read your thoughts and have you tell me something about it. I think next week we're going to talk about how to move on from divorce. But Chase said we talked about this subject before. So I don't know if we talked about it or not. If we've talked about it before, let me know. Like how to move on from a divorce or a long-term relationship. Like what do you do next? I don't know if we talked about it. But if we have, let me know. If you have a topic that you want us to discuss, I would love to discuss it with you all. So just inbox me and I will discuss it. And Lolita said the things I need to change is trying to be too protective. Too protective. In what way, Lolita? What ways are you too protective? Are you meaning like too guarded, too protective of your own self, or too protective of your partner? Or, I mean, I guess those are the only two I could think of. Hey, Nicole, Nikki, and Nichelle. Nichelle, you logged off and logged back in. I can't believe like it waited to the end for me. Um, oh, you need that topic, how to move on, Lolita? Okay, we can do that. Jay, you're so welcome. Very, very welcome. You know what? Let me tell y'all this, and I'm gonna wrap this up. I think I said I was gonna get off this thing like 5 times, right? But I am gonna get off of it. But I love my little girl chat. Like I like having chats with you all. I love having chats with you all. Lolita, we'll go ahead and do that topic then. Since that's something you definitely wanted to talk about, we'll do that next week. And also, just like I said, you all inbox me any other topics you want us to go over, and we'll go over. We're going to be here every Tuesday at 9 o'clock, whether I'm sick or she's sick, or, I mean, not sick, hang on. Whether we both could be here or only one of us could be here, we will be here at 9 o'clock. I will, Sheik. It's going to be next Tuesday at 9. So we'll talk about next Tuesday at 9. But yeah, this is what I was going to share. So I've always wanted to do my girl chat videos, right? And it was just so weird to me to like film it and put them on YouTube, like those type of videos. I don't like doing that because I like the interaction. Like, I like talking. I don't want to feel like I'm just talking to this screen. And, I need to hear your thoughts. It's, I guess, because I'm a therapist, so I love listening and I like the engagement of it. So, I was saying all that to say that when Facebook Live came out, I was like, yes, this is me. Cause I was so shy. Like, I would not have done this on that little, posting it to YouTube type thing. Cause I have so much anxiety. But okay, Jay said we need to talk about narcissism in the LGBTQ community. Okay, we can talk about that. Can you inbox that to me, Jay, so I won't forget it? You don't not. Lolita says she doesn't like not being able to reach your mate. Oh, are you responding to being too protective? I can understand that. I can understand that. It is real hard. I don't think it's such a thing as being too protective. Well, yes, it is. There is such a thing of being too protective. There is. But I can understand you wanting to be able to reach your partner, especially if you have certain circumstances going on. It's some people who have health issues going on, and they need to be able to get in contact with their partner right away. And then we have sometimes the partner may have health issues going on, and the partner needs to be able, the person needs to be able to get into touch with that partner right away. So I could definitely understand that. Lolita, thank you for sharing. Oh, so Chase, you just gonna join? You just gonna watch from the bed? Hi Melissa. Okay, Jay, make sure you inbox it to me. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get off and go take care of Chase. It said that she joined, but um. Oh, now she says she's not on. She's yelling for them. She says she's not on it. I don't know. Facebook is so weird sometimes. Like, this connection is crazy. I'm so sorry about the connections issues in the beginning, guys. But thank you all for sticking it out with me. Like, have we been talking for like a whole hour already? I think so. So this was great. This was awesome. Great topic. I love hearing your thoughts. And next week, I can't wait to talk to you all again. And of course, I'll be back on Monday with the G Spot. I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about because Chardell, this was going to actually be my topic for the G Spot. But oh well. I'll figure out something for Monday's topic. And then we'll be back. And that show is 10 o'clock. That's the Blog Talk show. And then oh yeah, that's the G Spot. And then on Tuesday, me and Chase will be back with the topic of how to move on after leaving a long-term relationship or divorce. It's okay, Chardell, girl. It's all right. It was a good conversation. I love this one. Sheikah, what you talk about? That's your key to get there? Girl, I don't know what you're talking about. Y'all know I be talking so fast sometimes. I be moving on. I don't know why. Lolita said, yes, I need to talk to you. Okay, Lolita, just inbox me. All right, guys. Well, ladies, what she said you could talk about who's more sneaky in a relationship. Oh my gosh, Chardell. Do you know I was just thinking about that earlier today? Who is more sneaky in a relationship? That is going to be a good one. I'll talk about that one on Monday. And I'll give y'all my opinion on Monday. So I can't wait to hear what y'all got to say. All right. Good night.